gang. This is Heather for Liberty Librarian. I'm being eyeballed by my cat, so it's just a matter of time before he wants to get in on the action. I'll put my name up there. Hi, it's Heather, Liberty Librarian. It's Thursday. We got through the week again, and things are going really good. It's been a nice summer so far, and life has been pretty good. Are you going to come up or what? He's just staring at me like, I'm looking for my moment, lady. Yep. I know it's going to be not a cat-free video. Did you guys see on Facebook and everywhere? Hello. Hey, it's all working good. Yes, we were adjusting some technology for Freedom Revolution. Hey, TLO, let me tell you, we've had some problems with our YouTube, and I don't know if you saw anything. I had to just put it on my Facebook and on our Freedom Revolution Network Facebook, which not everybody knows about, and most of our more faraway viewers watch it on the YouTube. So, hi, Tim. Yay, everything's working. Oh, I always get so nervous when things aren't working right. And so thank you, Dwayne, for helping fix that. That made my day. And, you are a rock star, dude. Thank you so much. It's behind the scenes. You never know all the stuff that goes into making a show. Lots of panic all the way up to the very end. Sometimes it's a crazy thing. So this week I'm drinking hop tea. I'm still working on trying to get healthy and be a good, healthy person. I'm getting down to the final stretch. Last, I think about 15 pounds, and then I'm done. And then I'm going to start putting weight back on with muscle. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been going really good. I've been, last night on Sweet Subversives, we talked a little bit about healthy hacks and stuff. And oh man, look at it, Total Vagabonds. Yay. I'm so glad to see you. I missed you. I know this last month has been nuts. Our YouTube on for Freedom Revolution Network pretty much got shut down. It's so weird. They didn't really give any good reasons, and they made it really hard. Oh, there's the cat that I was talking about. Here he comes. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Yes, I know. He's a lover boy. What can you do? You gotta have so anyway, on Netflix they had the cat documentary. Oh god, Cat People, I think is what it's called. It looks really good. So if you're into cats at all, that one is coming out in July and it looks amazing. So say goodbye, Rory. Goodbye. Anyway, so back to the YouTube story. YouTube, there's 2 videos that were questionable, and I don't know if it was a bot, like how it random like word in the video set it off or whatever, but there are 2 of our videos that made it so all our content came down. It was nuts. So yay. Welcome back. It's good to see y'all here. Good. I'm so glad that everything is working. And there's no rhyme or reason to it, and they wouldn't let us oh man. So what's the deal with Vagabonds? You're disenfranchised at the moment. What's going on with that? I'm into the conversation today. I missed you guys so much. I just want to know how you're all doing. Because we were pretty worried. We were worried that we'd lose all of our YouTube audience because we have a strike against us, and they're pretty psycho serious about it lately. So I kind of want to keep our YouTube. I know we're looking at other options to expand, which I think we should anyway. But for now, I think we got to keep at least our Facebook and our YouTube, because that's where the majority of people are watching. But we do have some on whatchamacallit. If I click it, what is it called? Twitch. I was like, yeah, are you good? And we're looking at some alternative, and I think I talked about this last week on my show, and alternative sites that might not get closed down, cancel culture kind of stuff. So we're probably going to expand in the near future. I think we're all really excited to do that. So more places. Good to hear. Yay. I'm so glad you're doing well. You're all doing well. Thank you for joining me tonight. I missed y'all. let me tell you. So my big worry is that I couldn't get the show up and running, and I have a backup account, my personal account, so I could use it if this totally went down, but it's all set up. It's all set up on our StreamYard site for doing our access to everything. So we love it. Oh God, oh God. Twitch, does this mean we have to wear a bikini or licking things? I don't think that's what it means. I mean, there are some of that there. I think Twitch is more like video games, so I probably have to play video games while I do my show, which I love video games, so that wouldn't bother me at all. I'd probably be the only one on the channel who'd do it. You got plenty of work. Life's good. Same. I've been working, I'm not supposed to really work that much this summer, but I'm on a hiring committee. We're hiring another librarian. I'm like doing work. We have a website drama thing going on. So trying to fix the website for the summer classes and taking classes. So yeah, it's been busy, but you try to make time for fun always, and having a hangout time with you guys makes my week totally worth it. So I love that. So yeah, this week I decided that my friend Kara had posted something about, working too much and not having enough time to do some of the fun things and spend time with people that matter the most. So, it used to be about video games. It's so much more. I like when I've gone there, I actually have an account there. And I like to look at some of the educational videos because I'm a nerd about it. But there are other stuff. There's like people that just do real life, they talk on Twitch. And I like the educational stuff where you learn about things. I actually, a couple years ago, I went to Dragon Con and they had a whole series of stuff that came out about podcasting and getting content out and like how to do better at it. And I'm hoping this year, because I'm going back to Dragon Con in Atlanta, yay, for Labor Day weekend, woo! But I'm hoping they do that track again because I love learning more, and because of that, that's where this show came from. It's like having ideas. Oh yeah, there's Dwayne. You're back. Welcome back, man. Hello, brother. Yes. So I'm hoping that, I learn a lot and then I can share with my other family and Freedom Revolution, like ideas on how we can make this even better. Because that's what it's all about. It's like trying to get a little bit better all the time. And it's work, it's fun, but it's a lot of work to do the technology. And I'm not the best at that. I'm always trying to get better. Oh, you're still thinking it? Yeah. I mean, it's open and they're taking registration. We got a place to stay. So I just got to get a ticket. Wait, did I get a ticket? I think I already actually, so many things have been happening lately. I think I have a ticket for that, not for the other thing I'm thinking, but I'll double check. But I think I'm going to Dragon Con. I don't have any costume ideas. I mean, if all else fails, just do nerdy shirts and just like go around and see everybody. Dragon Con, for those of you who don't know, it's like a huge sci-fi convention in Atlanta over Labor Day weekend. It's not quite as big as Comic-Con in San Diego. San Diego. I was thinking of San Francisco for a minute. San Diego. And it's San Diego Comic-Con used to be kind of the same thing where it'd be about comic books, right? Dragon Con actually was a lot more with fantasy and sci-fi, but fantasy novels. So a big part of it was the Pern Anne McCaffrey books, and they had a huge following of people there, and that actually was part of the reason I went the first year. I know it's not as famous as Comic-Con, but what I like about it is it's a little smaller, but it's grown. It's huge. They have like about, I don't know, like it seems like a dozen hotels where people stay around the con. So it's spread out. Oh, yes, a weekend in Vegas. I just went to Las Vegas and it's starting to really get opened up. I think like the week after we went, it really opened up even more because I think they got the trams going now. So it's a lot easier to get around the city. But Las Vegas, totally fun. Totally would do it again. It was still a little weird because they're still adjusting when we went, like in May. We were just like trying to get into restaurants and stuff, and so some places were like, put your mask on, and I was drinking stuff, I'm like drinking like my coffee, and they're like, no, put your mask on. I'm like, okay. And then I'm gonna get inside and I'm gonna take it off and drink my coffee again. So it was kind of lame. But I think it's adjusted now, so everything's kind of open. So totally, Las Vegas, totally worth it. We went to some really amazing restaurants. Kara and I go to anywhere. We like are all foodies, and we're looking for good food. So we had a lot of fun, and hence the diet now. I'm back on a diet. I miss food. I miss beer. Oh my God. But so there's lots of plans coming up. I think I'm going to go to a wedding this early fall, and I'm gonna fly there. It's gonna be fun. So there's just a lot going on. I feel like after last year of not getting to do anything, it's awesome, just awesome. I'll take it all. But I'm segueing into what I wanted to talk about today. Is that to do all the things I want to do, I also want to just make lots of money. Does that sound like really vain and weird? Yes, it does. But, I work hard. I make okay money. Hi, Dwayne. How are you? I'm fine. I would like to make lots of money, but I also really don't want to work that hard because we were talking about, like, Kara had a post where she wanted to spend more time with family. So I would like to spend more time with family, and also would like to make some extra money so I could pay for toys that would make my technology better for doing shows like this. Get it so I could have a little studio set up and make it really nice. That's my plan. Will it happen? I don't know. So I started going down the YouTube video rabbit hole about how to make money, and I found a really good one. I think I'm going to share it. I'll share it with you guys because there's only like a handful of people watching right now. So why not let my friends get rich and that kind of thing. So this is the first thing I'm thinking about doing to make money. And I found this lady's website or her YouTube channel, and I'm just going to show a screenshot of it because it's kind of awesome. Let's see, share screen. Where are you, lady? There she is. I'm going to share the audio in case I play it. So her channel is called Make Money with Stacy Law, and I'm sure it's like short for something. And I just had this on my YouTube on my TV, and I was just like watching stuff. And her channel came up, and it said make thousands a month online, easy side hustle for beginners. And I just started watching it because I think I have it on auto, so it goes to the next one. And I started listening to her, and she only has like about I think maybe a dozen, maybe even like 8 videos, but she's got a ton of subscribers already. What's cool about it is she goes through the whole video, and I'll put a link to this in my Facebook in our feeds. Let me just do it now. Oh God, copy that. I'll put it in right now, and it should show up actually in the YouTube one because it always goes right there. But so this one is the video I'm talking about. Oops, I wanted to not keep having that up. So I'm gonna mute her so I don't get dinged. But she talks about what's really cool is these low content books, blank books, basically. And what's kind of crazy about it is that, like those journals you can get on Amazon, or coloring books, or, like sketch pads, that kind of thing. People buy them all the time. And like she shared this like site, and she gives a discount in it, which I thought was really cool too. It's this Book Bolt. it has like all these built-in features, so you can create these low content books, and it posts it right into the, what do you call it, the Amazon, I keep wanting to call it KSP or KDM or something like that. And what it is it, oh yeah, totally, finally they fixed whatever was wrong on StreamYard, because it had like it wouldn't even show up. But so anyway, I'm going to stop sharing it for now. What was really cool though is that she like makes these books, and like she and this other lady were talking about it, and they made like $4,500 a month. And the deal is you make these books, you keep making them, and you get ideas, and it has marketing tools built in, so you can look up keywords and see which ones are selling, and you can narrow it down. And a lot of people are starting to do it. So once it gets oversaturated, that will go down, and then people give up on it, and it'll come back up. So people are going to always need that. The deal is like you can use their built-in tools to make it, or you could go to a site like Fiverr and have somebody help design the cover, and it looked really kind of like a neat idea. And I actually have a few ideas in mind. I love the idea of like basically side gigs where you can just let it run. You know, I've talked often about making short books and posting them on Amazon, and then you start getting the money in that comes when, if anybody buys it. The deal is it has to be good. It has to be stuff that people want, but and not to put so much time that you give up on it. You know, it has to be something you keep doing. And just like my show, I like to do this. I keep doing this. There's only so much time in my week that I can do extra stuff to make it a little bit better. But I thought that was so amazing. So she had like a couple other ones where affiliate marketing was another idea. What I really liked about her stuff though is, you know, some of the videos, they just talk about it. I have a show that I've mentioned before called Our Rich Journey, which I love because those people retired at age 39 and they moved to Portugal, and I'm super jealous. But their side gig stuff was not for me. It was like, oh, have a like do parties for people, you know, like set up picnic parties, and you show up and you like set up the decorations and stuff. Some people are totally into it. I would rather do stuff on my computer or something more creative in my mind. Some people are doing things with, have you ever heard of I mean, this is mostly dudes watching me right now. Cricut is like this machine. It's kind of like, it reminds me of a 3D printer, but instead it cuts things out of like paper and fabric. And the cool new thing was, I'm going to tell Kara about this eventually, she'll probably watch the show later, is that you can cut fun foam out and make your costumes for DragonCon. So one lady showed how she cut out the special kind of fun foam, and she would glue the parts on, and she made like whole suits of armor and shields and stuff out of the Cricut. But people are making Etsy shops and that kind of thing where they make tons of money. One lady bought a new house with the money she was doing with her side gig, and she switched from, she had had a kid and was working at home, and she wanted to have something to do. And she had, for Christmas, her mother, I think, gave her one of these Cricut machines, and her husband's like, why not just do something with that? See if you can get enough money for groceries, then that's all that matters. And not only did she get enough money for groceries, she got enough to buy another, I think it was like a $175,000 house. So I'm like, made some good money, honey. The trick you have to, the thing that always makes me worried, because I have friends who are, they do work for themselves. They work from home. And I think of my friend Laura Lavoie, and the smart thing she said to me is that when you're doing this, you need to make sure that you are putting money aside for taxes, because taxes, damn it. But, you know, make a side fund for it. Oh, you're going to be making the movie soon as well. I know. I can't wait. When you do, you're please come on my show. I'll like help you promote it. That'll be awesome. I want you to get famous and have like everything everywhere. That would be so cool. I just want everybody that I know like the cool people like you guys to get rich and to be successful and to do well. Because, like it always seems like there's so many uncool people that are like, just like it seems so easy. I want it to be easy. I've been watching videos on kids that figured out how to use TikTok to make money, and I still can't figure that out. Yes, please do come on my show. I want you to like share, like, share clips and stuff, and we'll talk about the process. I love it. I support you. Cheers, man. Let's make this happen. And yeah. And I do 2 shows, and people love what I do, and I got invited to be on another show that's somebody's developing, and I'm like, oh, I have time to do everything, but I do have time. And I told this person, I want you to do really well. You get your stuff together, and then we will work together, and I will help promote you. And because I'm not really in this to make money. This has never been a money gig for me. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. So working with other people, you always have to include their ideas, and it becomes kind of a mishmash of 2 personalities. And on that, so I have to feel like I have to work harder. You don't want to let people down. So like my work with Kara on our show is, it's a lot more serious and professional in a way, but since we're such good friends, it's easy. But you also don't want to like push it too hard and hurt somebody's feelings by not getting excited about an idea or whatever. Or people get like emotional things, with work. It's work, but you got to be careful with your friendships and never push it too hard. So I feel like I've gotten better as time has gone on with the whole show thing, the whole idea of a show. But I do want to get rich. So I'm thinking of what I'll do is next week when things are, they'll never calm down. I think I'm going to look at the site more and decide if this is what I want to do and use that book. What was it called? Book Bolt looked kind of neat. I think it ended up being, if she had a code on that with the lady that I shared her video, it was like 20% off. So if you're interested in doing those kind of comic books, low content, nothing huge. It's not complete books, but like small content, and you can make tons of them. She had a 20% off discount, and I'm looking at maybe doing it and getting a year, because the year had the biggest price break. So it ended up being with her discount. I'm hoping I can use it on a year. It ended up being about $13 a month for the subscription. So if I can make, $160 back, because she said she's making $4,500. If I can make the money back and maybe some more after that, I can always quit after a year and then just let the money keep coming in. Why not? So I might like try to publish some like low content books just to see if it works out. So that's my number one thing. And I will, when I get everything set up, and I'll let you know that I've done it, and then I'll do a follow-up and let you know. The same lady talked about affiliate marketing, and I am super confused about that. I don't have advertisers for my show, and we've never really gotten, Freedom Revolution Network hasn't really done advertisements. When I first started, we did Freedomizer Radio, and that was more of just a pure podcast, right? And just talking heads. And we had ads in it. And I'm always kind of wondered if we were going to start switching to that. I don't mind that we don't. I don't mind it, but it pays the bills. So it might be something that we have to do as a channel. But one of the things I've thought about is if I do this with selling like books and maybe having like Liberty Librarian t-shirts and stickers and whatever, or Sweet Subversives too, setting up like a site so you can sell things and then have affiliate marketing where, like, because on Sweet Subversives, I do just the tip, and sounds dirty, right? But every week I talk about like different products that have helped me, and like, because I'm always thinking about like how can we make life better. And, it wouldn't hurt to make some money on stuff that I like, hey, I totally use this anyway, so why not? But I also kind of hate over marketing things. So I want to make sure if I ever do it, it's stuff I actually would use, not just crap because they send me money. I mean, I like getting money, but you got to have some scruples, right? You gotta set that bar. So they talked about setting things up for TikTok, and Kara and I have talked about doing like funny TikTok videos, just like but you got to be really on the ball. It's like people have mentioned, like, I always try to be really on time for my show. I always try to be there. It's hard to always be here because I'm a one-woman show. Stuff happens, but try to be consistent. Try to be consistent with whatever you're doing, so you don't piss people off. And I'm just saying, like, you tell people this is going to be done in a month. I'm going to like make my movie in a month, and then the premiere date is July 20 something. And you're like, okay. And then when that day comes and goes, if there's a reason it's not happening, you got to let people know. You keep people in the loop. Because it takes time to develop friendships and people that actually keep watching your show, which I think is awesome, but I don't want to let you down either. So think about that if you're doing a side gig. How are you going to keep all these things going? I'm all about the idea of, if you do a side gig, it shouldn't be something that it shouldn't eclipse your life. It shouldn't be more than a full-time job, but it should also be kind of fun, stuff that you're already good at. Some people they'll cook things, and they post about it, like, I'm doing chicken, like, drop off food. I'm all about the libertarian thing, is like, you do your own business. I like the idea of working for yourself, not working for the man, because the man brings you down. They take all your money and run away with it. And that's kind of the way the older I get, the more I see that is happening. And I work in a college, it's about as much the man as it can be, but at least we have a lot more free thinkers where I work, and we work with actual students frontline. We're not in our ivory towers, away from people. So I really want to help people. I want to help you guys. I just want people to do well. So that's the journey I've been on. And there's another lady that did affiliate marketing. Actually, I kind of liked hers, even though she seems kind of dry right away. She's got 174,000 subscribers. I'm going to see if I click on her, if she'll just start talking.
So I just hit a mouse.
Yep. Yeah, her name's Sarah Finance. But then on her site at the top, it says Sarah Finance. So I'm like, which is it, honey? But I actually like her. She did like $20,000 in 30 days, side hustles. She makes a shit ton of money. She did drop shipping. She does so many side gigs. And what I like about her too is I love female presenters on YouTube that also talk about cryptocurrency and investment and a little bit of everything. And she says she's like a millionaire now, and she's like in her early 20s. She's a baby. I'm going to share that. Sarah Finance. Let's see if I can. Where are you? There you are. See, I'm my own tech guru. So Sarah Finance is, she's got 174. She's just like a normal chick. She went from broke to making $50,000 a month at 19. And she's just like a little baby. And I've seen her on a bunch of different channels talking about finance. She knows her stuff. She's a little more dry of a personality, but I kind of find her more reassuring than some of the, hey guys, look at my car that I have parked here, because I just hang out in the garage with my car showing off my Lamborghini. She's not like that. She's much more like normal kind of chick. So I kind of dig that. And I recommend that channel too. Let's see if I can find that one. She got her first house at 18. So, I feel like she's not somebody who's like born into money either. And she talks about a drop shipping business. So here, I will post a link to that too. This one I like a lot, and I think her personality is a little drier than I like, but you know, I kind of think she's awesome. Sarah Finance, and honestly, like she makes like $500 a day doing some of this stuff. Why can't I be? I'm a smart person. You're a smart person. Let's make lots of money. Oh, it's like the Pet Shop Boys. I've got the brains. You've got the looks. Let's make lots of money. So, are there things that I'm missing? Are there other sites that you recommend? Share in the links, share in the comments. Even if you watch later, I'll see it. I love the idea of all of a sudden just making it big. You know, I have friends that did all the crypto, and I'm so scared of crypto. I know it. I should do it. I have the Pi Network stuff on my phone, but I don't know if it's going to ever be money. But I couldn't pull the trigger, and so now I'm like, I gotta wait for it totally to crash out, and then maybe I can do it. I'm still kind of nervous about crypto, and some things they're made for you, and some things are not. So I may talk about doing books like this. It may not be your thing. You may be like you do T-shirts. Some people do the Amazon drop shipping businesses. Some people like there's so many different side gigs you can do. But let me just say, there's a caveat. That anybody says it's super easy. Nothing is very easy. There's always a learning curve. And if it's really, truly easy, it won't be as successful as what the person said, because everyone's going to try doing it for a while. And it'll seem like it's not working, but eventually it will pick up again. The people who make the most money off of these ideas, however, are usually the ones making videos where they're selling a class about how to do it. They're making money on advertisements, because people love to click on those making money videos. How do you strike it rich? How do you make it big? There's no sure thing. But I would like to say that there are ideas, and why not try? Why not try if it's really easy? And if you fail, you fail. As long as you don't put like all your life savings into stuff and then you fail and you're like, I am done. Oh no. Don't go that way. But, take little risks. Take little risks. I always said you don't gamble in Las Vegas with all of your kids' money for their future. You go with what if you dropped on the street and you had to walk away from it and not cry too hard. What could you part with? And that's your comfort zone. Do comfort zone things, and then maybe you make a little more, and your comfort zone will grow, and you can make a little more. Because I just want us all to be rich, and I think it would be the coolest thing in like 10 years if we had like a Liberty Librarian Conference where we all meet and we go, remember when we all just decided we were going to be rich, and we just did. And then like we started making shows and movies, and we all just like did awesome stuff. Like that would be so cool. I want you all to succeed. So that's where I was going with it. And I'm kind of hopeful, So I am going to definitely try the making books. I don't know if I'm going to use that service or not, or if I'm going to look for a free or cheaper way to do it myself. But I do think it's a good idea. And I kind of want to try that service, but for a 20% off discount, I could do it. And hopefully her code still works, because it's from I think about a month or two ago. So some of those expire. So anyway, in the world, big picture, Juneteenth became a federal holiday. They finally approved it this week, and it went through everything, and now it is June 19th is the celebration of the freedom of slaves in 1865, let me think. It actually was signed by Lincoln 2 years earlier, but it was we're celebrating the actual date that the slaves were freed in Texas, because it took 2 years for them to get there and to tell them, hey, we're not doing the Civil War anymore. It's a done deal, and you should let these slaves go because they're technically free now. So let's see. What does it say? Now it's a federal holiday. Biden signs it. 1 hour ago, signs the bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. AP News just says there are 14 Republicans who voted against it. But I mean, it's just a holiday. No matter what your feelings are, I'm all for more holidays. We should have lots more holidays. So June 19th is the 12th federal holiday. Wow. It was voted 415 to 14 on Wednesday. And then they sent the bill to Biden today, while the Senate passed the bill unanimously the day before. Cool beans. And so it's a date of profound weight and profound power. And I think last year I did a show on Juneteenth talking about the reasons for the need for Juneteenth and the important historical significance of it and the horrific treatment of people that, of Black people in the South that has made it so we need a little bit of celebration and remembrance of where we've come to and where we're going. So it's Juneteenth is the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day was created in 1983. So it's been a long time since we've had a new federal holiday. One of the federal holidays, Inauguration Day, happens every 4 years, so it's not very often. This will happen every year. So the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, which is the Human Resources Office for the federal government, tweeted on Thursday that most federal employees will observe a new holiday. So they call it Juneteenth, National Independence Day, on Friday, since June 19th falls on Saturday this year. But most years, you'll get it. It'll stagger out a little bit. So you won't have it always on a weekend. So you'll start seeing it. Next year, it'll be more obvious. So there's overwhelming support from the bill, from the lawmakers in both parties. People are already celebrating it. And on our show last night, Michelle McCutcheon was talking about how there's going to be Libertarian Party events and lots of advocacy and things going on around it, all around the country. And it is amazing. All around, like Minnesota has events. Every state is doing something to celebrate. So yay, it was really good. So I was not surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised, I guess. Is pleased. That's a good way of saying it. I was pleased that they finally got off their asses and did this. So it makes total sense. So that happened in the news. What else was I going to talk about? Oh my God, so much. I got off on my tangents as I do. Okay, I'm looking at it. Justice Department, Associated Press. This is big news. Justice Department says it will no longer seize reporters' records. So, as you know, in journalism, reporters often have they protect the rights of their sources. They protect the privacy of their sources. So there's been a fight where the Department of Justice wants to grab their notes and but not just asking them, taking them. So I just thought that was kind of amazing that they were secretly going behind people's backs and taking them. So it will no longer secretly obtain reporters' records during leak investigations, a policy shift that abandons a practice decried by news organizations and press freedom groups. So good. They overturned that. The reversal follows a pledge last month by President Joe Biden, who said it was simply wrong to seize journalists' records and that he would not permit the Justice Department to continue the practice. Because journalists are supposed to be able to sort of be non-partial watchdogs of the government. And if they're constantly being tortured with getting their records and seized at any moment, how will you ever feel secure in doing a fair assessment of what's going on? So I'm glad that this happened. It's one of the few things where I think they've done something right. But we'll see. There's official turnabout in an investigative tactic that has persisted for years. Thank goodness. Democrats and Republicans and Libertarians alike have used subpoenas and court orders to obtain journalist records in an effort to identify sources who have revealed classified information, but the practice had received renewed scrutiny over the past month as Justice Department officials alerted reporters at 3 news organizations, including the Washington Post, CNN, and the New York Times, that their phone records had been obtained in the final year of the Trump administration without their knowledge. That's bullshit. So, the latest revelation came Friday night when the Times reported the existence of a gag order that had barred the newspaper from revealing a secret court fight over the efforts to obtain the email records of 4 reporters. The tussle had begun during the Trump administration, but had persisted under the Biden Justice Department, which ultimately moved to withdraw the gag order. So, is it more, hi Rory, is it more about the Trump and Biden fight? Maybe. But ultimately, we need to have the Justice Department value a free press, protect First Amendment values, right, Rory? And it should be committed to taking appropriate steps to ensure the independence of journalists. Yes. So you need to you need to have a legal process to protect reporters. And in leak investigations, department also says it should not force journalists to reveal in court the identity of their sources. No, that would be wrong. Don't make them reveal their sources. Because then sources won't come to journalists and tell them the news, and there's a process to this that makes sense. So we need to not let the government do that. So I'm glad to see that has happened. And separately on Saturday, the Justice Department said it was withdrawing its subpoena that demanded the USA Today provide information to identify readers of a story about a suspect in child pornography case who had fatally shot 2 FBI agents in February. The subpoena was issued in April, but it came to light this past week when USA Today and its parent company, Gannett, filed documents in federal court asking a judge to quash it. The subpoena sought the IP addresses and mobile phone identification information of readers who clicked on the article for a period of about 35 minutes on the day after the shooting. So they were figuring that one of those people was probably the bad guy who shot. Get off the table, you crazy. I'm sorry. I gotta grab him. There. He's just gonna knock everything over. Crazy cat. So anyway, there's one good thing that the Justice Department says it will no longer seize reporters' records. Yay. Hallelujah. Okay, next. I don't want to do any more Trump news. Blah. There's so much Trump news yet, and this guy isn't even president anymore, and it just keeps going and going and going. Why are you here again? Oh my goodness. Baltimore. Cybersecurity. Crazy. In the nextgov.com website, it talks about cybersecurity, emerging tech, artificial intelligence, all CIO briefings, all sorts of ideas. So Baltimore is the latest city, and my friend David lives there, is the latest city to consider banning facial recognition technology. I'm hoping that cities all over the country move to this because the Maryland city of Baltimore joined several other localities that have banned or are assessing the controversial technology or limiting its scope and use. So good for you guys. There'll be another vote this last week. And I haven't heard if it passed or not, but if it passes, I'm going to look it up right now actually because it just was the other day. Baltimore facial recognition. Let's see what the news says. They voted overwhelmingly earlier this week to pass one of the strictest facial recognition bans in the United States. So it passed. That's right. So they say it will join cities like Minneapolis, Boston, Oakland, California in banning facial recognition technology. Other governments have limited the scope and size of their facial recognition technology use, including New York, Seattle, Detroit, Nashville, and Pittsburgh. So it's a step in the right direction. So way to go, Baltimore. And if your city is looking at increasing it or changing it in some way, talk to your local lawmakers because it is a hot topic right now. Baltimore, also in the news, they had said that it had ended its spy plane experiment, a surveillance program that was criticized for not decreasing crime, but put thousands of people under surveillance. So they were spying on people by flying over and looking down at people. So a report by the National League of Cities addresses issues surrounding facial recognition and government's ability to balance transparency with effectiveness and efficiency. So yay for Baltimore for not continuing the terror on using facial recognition software. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, how much time I got? About 15 minutes. Okay. So yes, the American Libraries had a post today, this week actually, about the Juneteenth. Everybody's celebrating it. Yay. There's a lot less news this week. One of the things that are going on around the country, I don't see it mentioned, is copyright. I wonder if I can just find the article. For libraries, because it's a Liberty Librarian kind of thing. Oh, here, TLO. You used to have those in UK, super gag orders. You can't even mention that if there's a gag order. That it's just BS, isn't it? Oh, I just hate that. In the news, libraries and law. That's 2 weeks ago. 1 day ago. Oh, the article I read, I don't think I mentioned it anywhere else, it's in Slate magazine, and they talk about where is our Spotify for books. And it's kind of an interesting article. It's from June 7th. Oh, they don't like my ad blocker. They can suck it. Libraries have been thwarted in their attempts to expand ebook offerings because publishers are killing us with cost, and we don't have a lot of money. Libraries just aren't like flush with funds. Despite what you may think, everybody wants electronic resources. Everybody wants overdrive so they can get their free ebooks and look at them at home. But we can barely afford them. And with budget cuts happening all the time in this country, because they're like, well, people aren't going out and using your physical library. I'm like, bitches, please. We have to have ebooks too, because these people who aren't coming to our libraries are still using our resources, and these are our most expensive resources. So it said that the number of digital books borrowed from libraries hit 289 million in 2020, a 33% increase over 2019. And I think I mentioned this. This is in Slate magazine online, slate.com, and it's by an author named Nathan Newman. Where's our Spotify for books? So it talks about the deals, the wheeling and dealing that we have to do in libraries to even just have enough ebooks, so it makes the population happy and they keep using them. There's the main challenger is the library against Amazon, which is almost completely monopolized private sales of ebooks and have sold, they sold 487 million ebooks in 2020. And that is a giant problem, is because publishers like Macmillan has public libraries pay $60 for any ebook and could only lend it out 52 times for 2 years. So that's not a cost-effective thing. So some small libraries are just not doing it, or they're going with what the consortia has, which usually is nonfiction and not ebooks that are in fiction. So publishers have temporarily lowered some of the prices during COVID and the pandemic, but the prices are starting to inch up as people have come out and they say, no, there's nothing to worry about anymore. So what is causing this? It's called the first sale doctrine. So unlike physical books, the courts had said that libraries have no right to buy an ebook and then lend it to members. Instead, publishers only license ebooks and can deny the license to a library or condition the right to lend the ebook on paying at a much higher price. This is kind of a monopoly by the publishers. And music industry and the film industry doesn't fall into the same kind of trap. Just publishing, book publishing. Some of the state legislatures are outraged enough to have proposed legislation to force publishers to license ebooks they're currently withholding from libraries. Maryland also, we just talked about Baltimore, enacted such a law this spring, but these will likely be challenged by publishers in court as preempted by a federal copyright law. In university libraries and college libraries like mine, student patrons restrictions on electronic textbooks are even worse. So one estimate, publishers refuse to license 85% of electronic versions of textbooks to university libraries at all because they make big freaking money on it, you know? They force students to either buy directly from the publisher or go without. And that's why I've been doing so much more with open educational resources, OER, because, you know, if they're not going to play nice, we're going to find free resources so students have something and that they can afford it and we can afford it. So it's either you're going to lose a bunch of money and then the prices are going to go up until they go out of business, or they play ball. And you know, do we have to have the government force them to play ball? Maybe. It's almost like a monopoly. So maybe we need to bust it up somehow. But 65% of students have skipped at least one textbook purchase because of the cost. That's why I'm so into open educational resources right now. There are a lot of great resources online. If you're ever interested or you're stuck and you need something, like if you're homeschooling, there's tons of good resources out now. So maybe that's where things will shift if publishers don't learn to play the game. So there's been protests going around signed by 3,000 librarians. I mean, this is a really interesting, it's a really interesting problem that's been going on, and they're cashing in because people love their ebooks, especially during a pandemic. Oyster was shut down a few years ago, and that was another subscription service for doing books. Epic Books had modest success with the subscription service. For kids' books. Scribed, I know them. They had the most successful surviving version, still lacks most of the popular books. So there are places to do it. Amazon had their Prime, so you can, what is it, Prime Plus or something, where you can like check out books and you can get a certain amount. 50% of paid ebook downloaded are now self-published, largely due to the popularity of Amazon's Kindle Unlimited, and they have exclusivity with a lot of authors. So getting Amazon to play with libraries is almost impossible as well. So it's a constant problem. So this is going on. The Congressional Research Service in April 2020 review of the issue noted that Congress is considering doing like a review back in 1998. They keep getting pushed back. I think it's because there's so much money in publishing that they have their lobbyists, they have their own special interest groups that kind of keep it going. And they make over $2 billion in annual sales on ebooks, have reached that point. So it's big money. And so libraries are a big part of their big money. And would they lose out? How would we make it so would authors get royalties from checking out library books? Would that be a part of the system? They're already, the Authors Guild promoted what's called PLR, a public lending right mechanism. And what that does is there's already 35 nations around the world that use that. And so it gives payments for each book, physical or digital, borrowed from a public library. So around the world, they're already doing it. The United States is falling behind in it. And I think it takes advantage of authors. Authors are the ones missing out and the publishers are winning. So it's, it may be the online piracy is responding to it. And I think we had this problem with music too, is that it got to the point where people would just be like, oh, these cost too much. I'm just going to pirate things because it was easier. So I think if you make it reasonably priced, people will pay. If you make it too expensive or impossible for libraries to get it, people will pirate it. So why not try to make it work? Play nice. I like that. So that is, I think, the end of my news. Oh gosh, I'm just making sure I didn't miss some international news. There's so much going on this week. Tom Hanks is talking about the Tulsa Race Massacre, which I talked about on the show last year or the year before. Definitely, you need to read. There's a New York Times article about it, and you can see more. Learn about the history. It was covered up. So my cat's still back there. He is. You talk about the Dred Scott. Talk about historical characters and figures that haven't been covered in in your old school history books. Not all a bunch of white guys. There are a lot of different people in the world that should be celebrated and their stories should be told. So I think on that note, I'm kind of like almost done. Holy crap. Thanks for hanging out with me. I got super library on the end there, which I love. I work in libraries, you know it. But I hope you guys have a great week. And I'm going to, like, if you have ideas on how to make lots of money, share with our friends here. Legal stuff, right? We'll do legal. That should be pretty good. Send me ideas because I think like my plan will be to find side gigs that are easy and see if how much I can make. It's okay, Heather. I know I go on tangents. You know me. It's just the way it goes. I love hanging out with you. Whoops, wrong way. Rory does too. I hope you guys have a great week. And he's like, I don't. He's like, I don't. I just wanted to stop talking so I get the pets. I'm like, okay, man. So we hope you have a great week. And thank you for joining us. I'm so glad my YouTube friends are back. Thank you, Dwayne, for setting that up and Freedom Revolution. And we're going to keep working to make things better. I love getting to hang out with you every week. And we will keep on partying. So have a good long weekend. Love you guys. Mwah. See you later.